Hello, everyone. It's Monday again, and you know what that means. We're back with the Crossing the Streams podcast. Me and my beautiful, stunning co-host, Forceful Gaming. What's up, Force?
What's up, buddy?
Nothing much, man. Yeah, we're bringing you the podcast where we start with the best of intentions, trying to talk about streaming tips, tricks, etc., and then we usually just end up talking about whatever else we feel like. So if you want to come along for the ride, might as well strap in. How you been, Force?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Been busy. Been a busy fella. Work's keeping me busy. School's keeping me busy, and then planning for this trip is keeping me busy as well. So it's just good times.
Where you going?
Get into uh seeing grandparents for like their 86th birthday or something like that.
Dang.
So it's gonna be fun.
You ever think about like what it's gonna be like when we're in our 80s?
Oh, I can't imagine, man. I mean, what they like if them were 20, 39, no 29 um now. That's crazy. I
Yeah,
can't
like
imagine.
there's gonna be a bunch of gamer old people running around.
I
You
know
know what
it's
I'm
gonna be
saying?
great. It's gonna be great.
I feel like it's gonna be hilarious from our
Mhm.
perspective. Like I feel like every time I see something like that, or every time, like, cause I'm gonna be playing games when I'm old.
Oh, 100%.
You
Yeah.
can't stop me. But it's just hilarious. Like the thought of my grandpa like picking up a controller.
Yeah. And I've tried that too. It did not go well. Did not go well at all.
I've done some gaming with my parents. Actually, um, I've got my mom coming up here to do a video with me.
You're still
Um,
doing that? That's
yeah,
super exciting.
it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be hilarious. Obviously, you know, there's gonna be some laughs to be had. But to be honest with you, my mom's what got me into gaming. I think we talked about this on one of the other episodes.
We did actually, and it was a blast.
But yeah, when we're when we're with age, we run around playing games. Our grandkids are gonna have like Ready Player One, like full VR haptic
Oh
nonsense.
man,
And we're like
dude, I
back in my
wish.
day,
We had controllers and screens at a distance.
back in my day,
Yeah. I
dude.
can just imagine it becoming a combination of Ready Player One and Idiocracy.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be some sort of combination of that because like the language has just gone so backwards. Like I'm almost 30 and I'm still saying like bet and all this other stupid shit. And I'm like, I know that
Bussin'.
that's wrong. I should, yeah, right? Like I know I shouldn't be, but I have
Yo,
this
bet
child
this
brain.
podcast episode about to be bussin'.
But a straight fire, fam. Let's go.
all
No,
of
it's
the all
bad.
of our Gen Z audience just clicked away.
And so I don't know what the next generation is going to come up with word wise, and then we're just going to keep going backwards while also going forwards with technology, while not interacting with people as much and being online as more. And it's just, woo, that's a rabbit hole I don't want to go down.
Yeah, we're
Not
we're gonna
today.
find out. We're gonna find out. For better or for worse. But
Yeah,
uh
true.
but I wanted to talk to you about something, and I funny you brought up the video with my mom that we're still doing that. That's because I wanted to talk to you about some video concept ideas, I guess, and just like talk about where your head's at with that. Because I genuinely am at like I don't know what to do. So like
Mhm.
I'm gonna ask you what you think, and then maybe our conversation will help someone else. So
It's, yeah.
so I have this idea for a video with my mom where she's gonna come. We're gonna fire up the PS1 and we're gonna play Tomb Raider,
Mhm.
and we're just gonna record the whole thing and see what happens. And I don't have any like plans or anything like greater stakes or whatever for the video. It's just gonna be a fun time, and I think that in itself is unique. Um, and it could be a good video idea with the right title and thumbnail and everything.
Mhm.
And then I have another idea for a video, which I'm also gonna do, which is just a simple, straightforward guide, and it's gonna be like everything you missed in Stormvale Castle, and it's a part of like a level in Elden Ring. and I'm gonna go through and like showcase all the secrets and stuff. And so where I'm at with my thought process is like I know that that Stormveil video has been done already, because why not? It's like the biggest game in the world right now, and there's tons of content creators out there covering it. I don't know if there's anyone else out there who's done like playing the original Lara Croft game with my mom. So one of them is like a totally original thing, as far as I know, and the other one is something that's definitely been done before. And my question to you is like, is one right or is one wrong, or like, is there a right or a wrong?
No, not at all. I think they're both great ideas. Both are needed ideas, and both can be received well either way. The mom one, yes, it is fresh. You don't see that very often, if at all. And it doesn't have to be anything aggressive. I know playing through the entire thing, record the entire thing, would be a long sit through. So even if it's because it's a for that side of a video, you're doing it more for the humor and the experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're just messing around with Ma playing PlayStation 1 games for fun, and just want to showcase it and have other folks see what happened. Um, and so with that, I mean, you can always do what you want, but like doing that is just like a highlight. Showcase all the weird stuff that you and your mom got into, because there's going to be a lot of downtimes where you're like, oh, I'm going. And then you
Mm-hmm.
can have a whole 18-minute section of laughs and cries because couldn't jump over, things were getting intense, a boulder's coming down, you're gonna get smashed, mom's yelling, "Don't get smashed, son, I love you." Like, it's a whole thing. Um, and that's what makes it fun. And so, just having that energy throughout the video, because that's kind of what you're going for, and then letting it all just kind of play out, and then just picking and choosing some of the best parts of the whole thing. Take a longer video, cut it down to a shorter one, and then you have that laughable factor and the enjoyment factor of like, oh, that was a lot of fun. And then you can have, in the video, hey, request to do what other games you guys want us to play. And then you get that community engagement from it as well, because then your community is like, oh, hey, this guy plays with his mom and it's freaking hilarious and it's awesome. You guys should go check it out.
Yeah.
Um, it's a whole like mini series within your own little stuff. And it's definitely a good, straightforward idea that has a lot of potential to grow. And that's the whole point of coming up with ideas for content, is how can I do this again but different, but still be fresh and still be, that new that everyone's looking for, because no one's going to click on a channel that puts out the same simple thing every single time. And so changing it up and having fresh ideas just like that, choice, choice. Um, and then with the other one, yeah, sure, people have other videos of that out there. Um, I think about it when I was playing Far Cry. I didn't want to do Far Cry 6, the most recent, right? 6, right?
Yeah. Six.
Um, I didn't want to do all the side missions because I was streaming it still at the time and wanted to just kind of get from start to finish. Because I know some of those side missions take up some time, and you always don't get the best rewards. So what I did, best guns to get, best, loot to get, whatever it was, and it got me exactly what I needed. And there's like 7 different videos, 10 different videos, and so on of the same thing. One guy's gonna describe it better. One guy's gonna have cleaner audio. One guy's gonna have cleaner video. You can see things better. Like every person's gonna have their own take of it. And so, is a good thing that I've at least looked at is like my content's mainly just walkthroughs, campaigns, things like that. I've sat and watched like the Rad Brad, Hollow, some of PewDiePie's old stuff, like just to kind of get what this person does well, what this person does well, and kind of be like, okay, I'm gonna take the best of both worlds and kind of merge this together to kind of create this, which is then gonna become me, and then so on and so forth moving forward. So even though it's a video that's been done, I mean, even back when I was trying to get like Warzone content, the amount of pro Warzone people or like top quality Warzone people that people are gonna actually click on, yeah, they're gonna find them first. But for something that's a guide that is more in depth and detailed, that creates that niche of people that are looking for that specifically, like I want to play this level, I want to get everything. Show me where it's at, and then
Mm-hmm.
you got people looking for that video. So it's more easier to also be found that way too. Because even when I was finding stuff for Far Cry 6, I saw stuff that only had, 100 views, 60 views, whatever it was, but it was still on like top 2 pages. So both are very good ideas. I guess they can be. I guess the only drawback would be, especially
Execution.
with execution. Exactly. You can all sound great and dandy, like this is my plan, it's gonna go great. And then say that guide video, turns out to be just not what was expected, which can
Hmm.
happen, but that's the whole point of just putting it out, seeing what happens, learning from it, and then doing it different moving forward too.
And I do have my own style, which I mean, I'm always gonna have my own style, editing and with the humor and whatever, which definitely helps when you're making a video that's been done already, as like putting your own style to it. But I like those answers. And the thing that I was struggling most with was this guide video idea that I have, because
Hmm.
I do think I can make a good video. My only thing was like, do I should I be spending my time on it, knowing that it exists out there and there's probably a bigger YouTuber that's done it already. Like, but I think I am gonna do it, even just to like push myself to make that
and,
style of content. I think.
and that style of content is a freaking effort.
Oh yeah.
You have to record all of it with also the intention of showing those things, because you're going into a game that you've already had a playthrough with, and you're getting back, going back to a save or even just doing it in that section. But you have to have the mentality of I'm going to find everything and showcase it. So even if you're just recording video at this point and then you do audio over it later, you have to kind of know that as well. So you're really planning ahead, and that's just on the recording process. And then you have to cut it all down to make sense and to
Mm-hmm.
be in a straightforward thing that someone can walk into that place and be like, okay, I'm gonna go here, 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 because that's exactly what this person did, and they 100% of this area or whatever it was. So it's a freaking effort, that's for sure. So I
It
can completely
is.
understand it being just it's a drainer.
It is, and I mean, there's a lot of planning that goes into it, but
Hmm.
like you said, it is down to execution, and I think that it could be said for anything, like I know you're playing Jedi Fallen Order right now, and there's definitely been other people that have done playthroughs of that, but you're putting your own flavor to it. And there's like, I mean, any two no two playthroughs are going to be exactly the same. So
Yeah, and that's what's been nice about me replaying these older games is I can go back and see how other people did it too. If they just did straight walkthrough start to finish, cut out some of the random like exploring stuff and whatnot, or cut to the big scenes and just did that. Whatever it was. There have been a lot of people that have done that, but what's been nice is I feel like enough time has passed for something like that that the hype around it might come back, which might happen. We'll see, and then it might take off again, and then more people were searching, and so on and so forth. So even though people have done it, doesn't mean you can't do it.
yeah, I think you're right, and I'm glad I talked to you about it because I was on the
Mhm.
fence, and now I'm excited to get started on it.
There you go. Heck yeah.
Might start on it tomorrow. Who knows?
Ooh, on Taco Tuesday?
Yeah, imagine. So you had something you wanted to have a little chat about, is that right?
So I noticed one of these guys I know on Facebook, which honestly I don't know how I know him. I think I know him because of the music scene that I was in, which felt like forever ago now. Um, just got added, as a friend because of the page groups that we followed and shit. Oh my god. And so I saw he was going live over on Twitch, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I'll go and check it out, see what he's got going on." He was what 5 followers away from 150,
Yeah, that's pretty
so
good.
I was like, "Heck yeah, let's hop in and see how's it going." He was playing Elden Ring, um, and then it was getting to the point that I was gonna need to hop out and um, eat. or something. I don't know. I had to hop out, so I was saying, hey, keep killing it, man. You're doing great. You're almost at 150. You're what, 4 away now by the time I was leaving, and told him just keep doing him, and it's gonna end up getting there, which was awesome. And he straight up was like, "Oh yeah, dude. Actually, just based off watching you and your videos and how you started and where you're at now." Is the whole reason I'm, doing this at the consistent basis that I am. He was telling me how he started messing around with it, but he did it like here and there because he thought no one was, interested in him and shit. I mean, that was the same thing for me. I didn't, it's having 0 viewers for a little while, and I was like, well,
Yeah,
it is what
I
it
mean,
is.
everybody goes through that, man.
Exactly. And so stuck with it, and he said, he saw the production value too, some of the simple overlays, some of the alerts, how I got those, and he just said, I was like his whole inspiration to kind of keep grinding, keep going with it because he saw where I got to so quick with it. And I mean, I'm pretty sure he's affiliate now, and he's only been with it, almost the same amount of time as me, so about 6 to 7 months probably. And it was super cool just like hearing that and knowing that just people that watch you have this type of impact on them no matter who you are. I know big streamers, Nick Merckx and all those guys, like of course they get those same stories, but for someone minuscule and tiny like ourselves and myself, I'm just over here like, oh shit, someone's sticking with it and they're doing great, instead of just giving up like so many new streamers do. That's huge. That's awesome.
That's all. You're gonna be signing autographs.
Oh my god. Shush.
So, like,
So
with that in
I'll
mind, what was
I'll
the?
throw his stuff below.
Yeah, for sure. What what got you into it? Where you're at now? Just out of curiosity.
Just that whole same thing, I started off streaming on the PlayStation 4, streaming Black Ops 4 Zombies with like the basic PlayStation overlay box with like the chat vertical on the
Mm.
side, and my tiny little Facebook profile picture was up on the corner. Um, Super simple. I was streaming over on YouTube at the time, and I averaged like 5 viewers every time. It wasn't a consistent stream or anything, but like people would just chill and watch it, and that was even before all of the things that YouTube has done in the last few years to really like up their streaming game on their side. And it was cool doing it. Had a lot of fun. I was like, oh, I'm gonna try to. We're gonna look at getting a computer so I can actually do stuff that way. Through a recording software, so I don't have the weird overlay that I had before, and to have my own stuff and make it my own. So invested in a nice computer, Digital Storm. Thank you. It's a great computer. I love it. Um, they've been great with helping with upgrades, making sure everything works properly. It's been super nice. Um, Only had
Hashtag
one
artisan
monitor.
builds.
Oh yeah, sad times. Uh, Only had one monitor at the time. PlayStation 4 hooked up. It was going great, super simple, and then switched over from zombies to doing the campaign stuff. So I think my first one was the first Spider-Man PS4, like the when that came out,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a lot of fun. Just messed around. Didn't really have much. Maybe one viewer if my wife hopped in and like checked it out and stuff like that. But other than that, like that was it. But I kept going just because you never know. Shit
Mm-hmm.
might happen where one person hops in and then you get rated and this and that. Just because I've seen so many things, of stuff on YouTube where, hey, we rated this person with 500 people, nobody's streamer and they got all these followers and yada yada. So I guess I had high hopes that some dumb shit like that would happen to me. But because of that and kept grinding, was able to get a second monitor eventually, and so had a much more organized setup, invested in getting some nice overlays done, and really just tried to like make a brand, I guess, make a brand for
Mm-hmm.
myself, and it helped a lot. That's what started to bring in some more folks that saw the webcam overlay, some of the alerts that I got made, like it was a whole thing and it was super cool. And then just really focused on the content. I would notice that playing, X game here was doing really well. And then on these type of days, it wasn't doing well. And then this game here during this time. And so it allowed me to really just kind of play with it, play with it, we go back and forth. And it took a little while, but we got to affiliate, and then now we took a nice break, but we're focusing on YouTube, and that's been going really well. And really hoping to start back into both, and just kind of seeing what happens. It's been a crazy, crazy little journey, though.
So before you ever went live, what was like the thing that made you want to do that?
So since I was playing Black Ops 4 Zombies at the time, I thought I was the shit. I was getting all these higher levels. I was beating the Easter eggs by myself when they were like required two people. It was going really well. And was watching like Noah J, Mr. Roth Waffles, Mr. Dialect JD, all these guys that have been doing it for a long time. They've been doing it since like Black Ops 1 and
Hmm.
2 and the Chronicle series and all that stuff. And so I would watch their stuff to see how to really finish it up because I could only get so far. And I'm like, they got a whole freaking team of scientists basically completing those Easter eggs. And so I would watch them, and they'd go live sometimes. Codename Pizza was like live all the time doing these Easter eggs, so it was a blast watching him. And just saw like his community, all of those guys' community freaking goes ham for that zombie stuff. And I was like, well, shit. If I can try and do it myself and build a small community, maybe something will come of it. And just kind of rolled with it from there.
So those guys were your inspiration then, the zombies guys.
The zombies guys, yeah,
All right, that's cool.
yeah.
I
What about
like it.
yourself, man? Where did you come from, and where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Well, I do. First of all,
Yeah.
just for the reference, um, so before I ever went live, I actually wanted to, for a long time, I wanted to start streaming, and I've only ever had the PlayStation. I had PS1 all the way up through PS5. But I finally bought a PC because I got some money for graduation, and I was like, I'll treat myself. So I ordered all this stuff to build a PC, and this was like right before the pandemic started. Um, and all the stuff came in, and my motherboard was defective. So I had to say,
Oh,
and I was like building it all, and I was like about ready to fire it up. The motherboard's defective, so I had to send the
boy.
motherboard back. And before I could get the next motherboard in, I moved into this house. And part of that was like when we moved in here, this place was a mess. There was wallpaper on every single wall, and everything was brown. And
Oh no.
yeah, so we painted every wall in this place, and we redid the whole kitchen and on the bathrooms and everything. Uh, so that took like over a month. So my new motherboard had come in, but I didn't have any time to like put the computer together or anything because we were on a deadline to get this place finished, get
Yeah.
moved in. So then finally, we finished the renovation, built the PC, and then I finally was able to start streaming. But really, what got me interested in it was a YouTuber by the name of Northern Lion. I don't know if you've ever seen. He plays anything and everything, but he's just like, to me, he's a super entertaining guy, and I like, just doesn't really matter what he's playing. He's just kind of an entertaining guy to like listen to. And he had a podcast with another YouTuber slash Twitch streamer by the name of Dan Giesling,
Huh.
and their podcast was like about the behind the scenes of their stuff, like at the higher level of streaming, like sponsorships, merch, like making those
Yeah.
types of decisions and
Hmm.
stuff. And it just got me like super interested in this whole like ecosystem of content creation. And that's when I decided I wanted to pull the trigger. And so when I finally was able to, and I had the PC, I started on Twitch, like most people do. You started on YouTube, but I think most people start on Twitch, if I had to guess. And I was just kind of like pounding the pavement, getting out there, trying to network and everything. I did fall into the follow for follow trap early on. Most people know. If you don't know, like it is a trap. I wouldn't
Yeah,
recommend it.
not at all.
But I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
know. I was just like bopping around on Twitter, and I found one of those follow for follow things, and I got into that. It did get me to 50 followers though, so
Hey, there you go.
I was able to hit affiliate. And what I was doing on Twitch was very much a variety streaming show. I think the first game I ever streamed was Warzone, and I played a lot of Trackmania. I played, what else did I play? I probably got some stuff here. I played Minecraft. Minecraft Monday was a big one on my show. And then I played like any random roguelike that I could get my hands on, pretty much. And I would try not to play the same thing 2 days in a row. And
Smart.
it was working for me. I had a good time with that. And then I started my what really kind of I think my biggest thing for my show was my Dark Souls series. Um which I'm not going to say it took off, but it did kind of do better than other things on my channel as I played through all the way through Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Demon Souls, Sekiro, and Bloodborne.
Well,
And I mean, I did have quite a few like people that were regulars for that. And they love to come in and make fun of how many times I died. But now I have made the switch from Twitch to YouTube. I don't live stream as much anymore. Um, and I focus more on creating edited videos, which uh, I do miss the streaming side, and I miss the Twitch kind of ecosystem.
hmm
I think it has its own kind of culture, you know. But I don't regret moving to YouTube, and I don't think I'll go back to Twitch unless something kind of like something big happens. But I'm happy with where I'm at. I'm working on getting better at editing and sort of like increasing my video output, getting faster at editing. But that's where I started and where I am now, I guess.
it's a crazy ass journey, man.
It
That's for
is.
sure.
It's
You just you
it
really find yourself along the way.
I think so. And like I said, the first game I ever streamed was Warzone, and if you know me,
Right.
that's laughable to you.
That's
When you
not
say
even an option.
you find yourself along the way, it's like, man, everyone's playing Warzone. If I want to, make it, get noticed or
Yeah.
whatever, I gotta play Warzone. And then I think along the way, I just sort of became like, it wasn't so much about getting um like viral or whatever, or like getting
hmm
famous or making a ton of money, as it is like it's a hobby, And
Yeah.
like any other hobby, if you're making like if you're like wood carving or whatever, like the main thing you care about is this one better than the last one that I made? You know? Like is this piece of content better than the last piece of content that I made? And I think
It's
that's really like the biggest piece of I don't is it even advice? I don't know. It's like the biggest thing that I found along the way is I look at it as a hobby and it's like I just want to make each thing that I make better than the last one. And I love looking at analytics, toying with that and seeing like what will do better, And I just think it's all part of it.
kind of learned to be the opposite with that.
Yeah.
So instead of it being a hobby, it is a job. You gotta show up on time. You gotta put out the work, do the work for it. You gotta market yourself. You have to do all of the social media posts. You gotta, yeah, I mean, like it's a whole thing. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely okay. I guess I'm not a full opposite. It's like it is a hobby, yes.
Hmm.
The concept of like what you said, like you want your stuff to be good, but that's also if you treat it as the business part of it, that's why some people are making money and other people aren't. You know, they've honed in and grinded and put in that damn effort. Because you can sit here and say that this is my hobby. I show up to stream, you know, a few times a month and we have some fun. Sure, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to get to that next point, that's when you got to have that slight mental flip, I think, uh, to just put in that work because it takes freaking work. It's not an overnight thing. People that think this shit is an overnight success, it is not
Oh,
at all.
absolutely not.
That's for damn sure.
I've been doing it for over a year, and
Yeah.
I would say the amount of work I put in to it over that time period has been like pretty considerable.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm still pounding the pavement. You know,
Yeah.
and I do agree. Like there is a flip of between like taking the laid back approach and the grind approach. And I maybe the difference for me is just like I'm not ready to commit a thousand
Mhm.
percent to like, and of course like I'm not like the channel's not going anywhere,
Right.
and I'm committed to making good content because I love it. It's just at this point in my life, that's what it is for me.
Yeah.
And I totally respect your viewpoint as well. In fact, I admire it.
It's more or less me just trying to get out of my job and just work from home and play video games all day. That's all I want.
That's the dream.
That's the dream. And so
That's the
just
freaking
putting in the
dream,
work,
man.
man. That'd be great. You
For
know, I see
sure.
people like Nick Merckx. It took him what 3, 4, 5 years in his basement with a TV on like an upside down jug or like the little where you would carry baseballs, you know, in that little white
Mm-hmm.
canister, whatever you call it. Um, just upside down on that, playing in his basement, and eventually got him there. So
It can happen.
it's definitely possible for anybody.
And as much of it like, yeah, I want to have that too, like the full time, obviously that's the dream.
Hmm.
But for me, I'm like finding my way there. I've figured out is not a sprint. It's a
Yeah,
marathon.
it is a marathon,
And I think right now what I'm doing is like the right thing for me to be doing.
hundred
Is like,
percent. And that's why you, like you said, and I'm doing the same thing, taking a lot of time and working on the editing side because I mean we can't editors are expensive.
yeah.
If you want like a really good edit done, you're dropping a few $100 on one video,
Mhm.
and it's like,
At least 100 for like a
yeah,
maybe a 10-minute and 8-minute video maybe.
because you can give him an hour worth of content, but then he's going to cut it down to fit that budget, and it's like, a you might be missing out on a bunch of stuff, and so on and so forth. So instead of forking out your giving him arms and legs, you know, to pay for this shit, just learn to do it yourself.
Learn
And
Da Vinci.
it's not as difficult as it looks.
It looks intimidating,
Just
but you can do it.
it's very, very possible.
That is the biggest piece of advice for any
Yeah.
content creator. Your TikToks, your YouTube videos are going to go through the roof if you take the time to sit down and like learn how to use DaVinci. Like that's when I discovered my actual sense of humor, like in a content setting.
Yeah.
Like personally, maybe I'm tooting my own horn, maybe they're like dog crap, but I think my TikToks are hilarious.
I
My
actually
wife
am
probably thinks it.
I've almost convinced myself to start YouTube Shorts
Really?
instead of TikToks,
Hey, I
and
do
I'm
both.
very,
I
very
I
close.
post to both platforms, everything.
Yeah, that's true. That's always an option. I think, and then the reason I haven't yet is I don't take enough clips. If I
Yeah.
had a, if I could get a foot pedal, Elgato, I'm talking to you,
Mm.
um, just so that I can have it there, because like if I'm in the middle of a thing, it's so hard to just reach up and press the clip, the hotkey with the Stream Deck, whatever it is, no matter what it is. I play with my controller under the table because that's comfortable. I'm not one of those weirdos that like sits with it on a ledge. What is that? Um,
No one does that.
so right, like I'm not a you play relaxed. Relaxed is in your lap, chilling. Anyways, so it's much harder to get up and clip, and then I'm not going to feed through an hour worth of video footage to find a 10-second 30-second clip, or find 10 different clips to cut down to 30 seconds, to have it be a weird montage of whatever, whatever.
That's a
And
time commitment.
it is. And that's one of the biggest reasons it's holding me back. And so I have some how-tos I have to review on easily clipping out, copying, and like saving separate projects within one project. um, it can do that, which I found and I can send to you if you're ever interested. So if you are editing longer videos and stuff, and you know that this section here, it can partake in is, oh, this is what I want for my TikTok or my YouTube short.
Hmm.
There's a way to separate it, save that individual clip as a new project, so that you could easily hop right into it and then like combine things too. So if you like separate it, you can have a different timeline. So like I don't know how you can name it, but like a separate timeline for TikToks, whatever, and then save that entire timeline as one new project.
There have been many times where I wanted to do that, and you're telling me it's possible. It can be done.
I think I found a video. I haven't watched it yet, but if it is speaking to me the way I think it's speaking to me, it's gonna speak to you.
Mm. You smell that? Mm. That's the
Oh.
smell of some good TikToks. Mm-mm. I've said to
uh,
myself so many times, I'm gonna like. I think there was some good moments from last week, or I guess the week before last week's. Crossing the streams that could make good TikToks, like to promote the podcast itself, which I
yeah,
think we should be doing.
yeah,
I mean that comes to me because I'm the one that does all of this, but and I keep telling myself I'm gonna make crossing the streams TikToks, and I never get around to it because it is such a time commitment.
it
Episodes
is,
are like
man.
45 minutes to an hour. I gotta comb through.
To get 30 seconds to a minute, whoa, seems totally possible, right? All by yourself in a like generic time frame in between work, sleep, love life, and your family. Totally, totally there.
Can it for sure can be done.
It can, but it just takes a little bit
Yeah. And then the
until you
other
find your
thing is
flow.
like with TikTok, like yes, it's addictive to make TikToks because you're searching for that dopamine hit for the one that pops off, you know? But it's also it can be a grind because you could go 5 TikToks of flopping after flop, and then you're like, why did I put the effort in to comb through an hour of footage? You know,
That's
but
what I'm saying, man.
it is
Those foot
a
pedals and all those little things to like get those clips. If there was more easy way, functionality wise, to be able to do all this stuff, it would be much easier. But that other stuff costs a lot and takes a lot of like technical background to set up. Like the cheap foot pedals to set those up are only like $20, but you
mhm.
have to like encode them properly so that the hotkey matches into that software that you opened up, and then it's there. But good old Elgato's got a what $140 shenanigans with 3 pedals on it. Sign me up. Donations are
my
accepted though.
my the wheels are turning. I might be able to rig something up, and if I can,
I'll,
I will
yeah.
send you a little how to
Hey.
because that is a
But
good
it's
idea. It would be nice to have a clip pedal.
it is, and it's just for that convenience factor, man. That's all it is. Because you're sitting there and you do something crazy, you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna capture that. Click. But
Mm-hmm.
did my hands move from the controller? Did my hands move off the keyboard? No, they did not, sir. No, they did not.
That'd be nice for sure.
That would be, yeah.
And if I
One
could
day.
figure it out, I'll make it into a YouTube video. You know what? Actually, what I would do is I would send it to Gaming Dad and let him make it because that's like
There you go.
his whole deal.
That's his forte.
None of us could stand up to Gaming Dad in the realm of like how to be a better creator videos.
Hmm.
His voice is just okay. Now we're just stroking his ego.
Yeah, we are
Anyways,
stroking it real good.
oh, oh, we can never let him see this clip. But dude, you got me. You gave me some ideas between the foot pedal and the guide videos. Because if
Hmm.
the guide video goes well, and I think, and I'm proud of it by the end of it, and it didn't kill me to make it, then there's a lot of opportunities for that in Elden Ring with the amount of
A lot of
content in
shit.
that game,
It's a lot of stuff.
for sure. Yeah, the wheels are turning, the gears are grinding. I know it's a little dangerous to start forming thoughts in this brain, but here we go. But I am
Can't
genuinely
stop it now.
excited. I'm
Yeah.
genuinely excited about what's coming for the channel between that video with my mom and the other video, and obviously we're gonna keep the podcast going here on the GA channel.
Yes, sir.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe there's another GA video coming. I don't know if that's been announced yet. Hopefully, it's been announced by the time this podcast goes up. If not, then this is the announcement, or at
Hey.
least the teaser. But it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be fun. I can tell you that. Um, but yeah, we're we're putting in the work. GA, like, there's gonna be big things over the next 2 weeks. I think we're gonna start seeing. If you're following us on Twitter, which you should be, at Altered Globe on Twitter. Um, a lot of things are happening for GA right now, so if you're not in on that, you are gonna be missing out. But with that being said, I think that's a good episode. What do you think?
Cha. Cha.
I learned a lot.
Learned a lot. Chatted about good things. Y'all better let us know which idea do you agree with, not agree with, and tell Briggs, tell us all.
Yeah, comment down below, tweet at us. I can almost guarantee you we'll reply.
You just gotta
Um,
tweet our twatter and we'll get you.
yeah, dude, tweeting that twatter. And if you, my DMs are open, Force, are your DMs open?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
go ahead
think
and
so.
DM us. If you have stuff that you want to hear us talk about on the podcast, then by all means. With that being said, follow us on Twitter, etc., and we'll see you guys next time on Crossing the Streams.
See you guys.